What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here, and I'm here to bring you a Raw recap. Now, I don't have any notes, so I'm just doing this from my noggin. So let's get right into it. Raw started off with... First off, it started off with a new set. I like the half pipe. A new commentary team. The commentary team now is Vic Joseph, Jerry Lawler, and Ditto, I forget his last name. But we got the return of Pyro. Oh, Pyro, how we've all missed you. Welcome back. But Raw started off with Ray coming out and speaking on the Universal Championship match. Then he tells Dominic that he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. Tells Dominic that he's going to bring the Universal Championship home. Then he gets interrupted by Brock Lesnar, where Brock takes Ray's mic, gives it to Paul. Ray yanks the mic out of Paul's hand. Speaks in Spanish for a little bit. But whatever Ray was saying, he could not finish because of an F5. And then Ray gets picked up for another F5. Then Brock looks at Dominic, yanks Dominic over the barricade. And if there's one thing I have to give Dominic Mysterio props for, kid, you can bump. Dominic got Germaned, thrown out, and Brock comes and goes, beats up officials, and Brock, and this is not the only time we'll be seeing, this is the only time we'll be seeing Brock. It's not the last time we're going to see Heyman. So, what do I say about this opening segment? Great way to open up. And Dominic does the stretcher job and Ray goes with Dominic from to a hospital, and so that's the last time we're going to be seeing Ray or Dominic on the show. So what about the Universal Championship match? Well, okay, after that we go to our first match, which is Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss. Sasha Banks wins with tricking Alexa into thinking Bayley was there and helping Sasha. How did Alexa Bliss fall for that? I have no idea. And now I'm just gonna bounce around here. Rollins, we saw Lacey versus Natalya. Lacey wins with a grab of the tights, but she didn't really grab him. We see another AOP vignette where AOP just talks about violence and them being violence and everything. We saw Ricochet versus Cesaro. Good match. Short match. And Ricochet wins with a West Coast pop. We saw Cedric Alexander versus AJ Styles. AJ wins with AJ. It's a good showing by Cedric, but AJ hits the Styles Clash to get the 1-2-3. We saw Heavy Machinery take on Robert and Dolford. Yeah, that's their name now. Dolford. So Dolford picks up the win against Heavy Machinery, remaining the Raw Tag Team Champions. We saw a Miz TV segment where it was revealed that there will be a 5-on-5 tag team match at Crown Jewel. Team Hogan versus Team Flair. We know two members of each team, possibly three. We have the team captain of Hogan in Seth Rollins, and we have the team captain of Flair in Randy Orton. We have Corbin, a part of Team Flair, and we have Rusev, a part of Team Hogan. Okay, then we had another installment of the Firefly Funhouse, where everyone is scared. Rambling Rabbit just can't. I guess he dies of anxiety and fear and keels over, and Bray goes, "No!" And then he goes, "Oh well," and just tosses him. He tells Huskus the Pig, Mercy the Buzzard, and Abby the Witch that he is gonna go find him and tell him to be nice to Seth Rollins. Then he comes back and says that he's only kidding. So then, we also saw the Viking Raiders taking on the OC. It's a good match, which the Viking Raiders win. I almost wanted to call them by their NXT name, the War Raiders, but Viking Raiders. We go backstage, and Heyman says that what Brock did was heinous, irreprehensible. But don't blame Brock. If you want to blame anyone, blame Vince McMahon for letting Paul book Brock on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw when he knows that Brock is in fight mode. He goes on to say that this Friday on the season premiere, on the debut edition of SmackDown for Fox, we are going to be hearing this. Your winner and the new reigning, defending world heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar. We also see backstage that there's an interview with Maria Kanellis, and the phrasing of this question is everyone, what about Rusev? He's kind of embroiled you. And Maria looks confused, asks the interviewer, why are you asking about Rusev? Because obviously he's not the father. Then Sasha comes in and says, basically reminds Becky that there have been 2 women Hell in a Cell matches, and she was in one. And then we also see backstage Rusev gets asked, "Where's Lana?" And he goes, I'm not here to talk about my family issues. I'm here. Who saved Seth? Where was anybody else? Nobody else came to save Seth. So, Seth, I am challenging you. I'll take that Universal Championship match. So, I believe all I have to talk about now is the main event. The main event was crazy. We saw a pretty good match between Rusev and Rollins. And uh, Rollins, so when Rusev has the momentum, Bobby Lashley comes out. And he brings out Lana. They start making out, and Rusev is in disbelief. Then, oh wait, there's one more match I have. There's one more match. So this is not the last. The last match I talk about is the last. So the Fiend. Then the Fiend shows up, puts the mandible claw on Rollins to fade to black. But there was a match. Well, wait. There was a match between Lacey Evans and Natalya. Lacey wins with grab of the tights. But overall, I thought Raw was a really good show. The only thing that I'm disappointed about when it came to Raw was there were rematches. There were matches that I thought could have went longer. And overall, what on earth was with the ending? The ending was confusing because you have Lashley show up. You have Lana show up. Lana and him start making out. Rusev is in disbelief. And then you have the Fiend show up out of nowhere. And that's how the show ends. My biggest problem with this whole storyline between Rusev and Lashley is that, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we see this same exact thing when Summer Rae was still with the company? Although the babyface was Dolph and Lana, and Rusev had Summer Rae. And that entire storyline got that entire storyline got that entire storyline didn't go nowhere because of Lana and Rusev's engagement. But I'm not gonna judge the Rusev and Lashley storyline too harsh. I'm going to see where it leads and see if I can actually get into it. So, That's my Raw recap. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's me the 1,000 subscriber mark. Don't forget to go show my friends Spooky RoboCat, Wrestling for Fans, and Anton Masters some love. And last, but certainly not least, don't forget, at 40 subscribers, I will be doing a Q&A video. You can send your Q&A questions to ChristopherBox25@gmail.com, or you can put them in the comments below. You can put your questions in the comments below. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.